To make a guitar, I started with a thin piece of cardboard and I sketched out the shape of the guitar onto the cardboard, and then I took my scissors and cut out the guitar. Then I took my guitar cutout and I traced it onto another piece of cardboard and cut it out so that the front and the back of my guitar were the exact same size and shape. Because I didn't want my guitar to be flat, I took and cut a 1/2 inch piece of toilet paper tube that I could fold and place in between the two pieces of guitar. So I cut the toilet paper tube into the even strips. I used my Elmer's glue and I was able to get the first piece glued onto one of the guitar pieces, but the other one, where I needed it to be a little bit narrower, I had to use some hot glue to get it to stay in place. Once I had both pieces glued onto the guitar, I took and hot glued the top of the guitar onto the toilet paper tubes so that they were evenly spaced apart. I grabbed another piece of thin cardboard and then I took and I measured the width or the depth of the guitar to make sure that it would be the right measurement. So it was a little bit over a 1/2 inch. I cut several strips of this so that it was nice and even, and then I used this to wrap around the sides of the guitar. In order to get the cardboard to stay, I did have to use a hot glue gun, so I added a thin layer of hot glue along the edge of the guitar and then very carefully placed the cardboard strip in place. After I reached the neck of the guitar, I did have to do some trimming to cut the cardboard strips to the right size. Now, paint sometimes has a hard time sticking to hot glue, so I decided to go ahead and paper mache my guitar in order to make sure that the paint would cover it completely. So I started with a layer of paste and then I wrapped the paper towel strips around the entire guitar. Once the paper mache was dry, then I took and painted my guitar, and I had to do a couple of layers to make sure that my paint was solid. Once the base layer of paint was dry, then I took my pencil and sketched out any additional details that I wanted to add to the guitar, and I painted them. And last, I hot glued some wire on for the strings of the guitar, and then I could take and hot glue this in my hero's hands.